9, 8, 7, 6. Go for main engine start. Main engine start. 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
Welcome to the Orbital Perspective podcast, where we dolly zoom out to a perspective where upcoming megatrends become visible. Yeah, I mean, some of the things that I took from your characters is the idea to focus on, you know, when you're in this really, really life-threatening or really tough situation, is to focus on right now. What do I have control over right now, and not worry about all those other things that, you know, what might happen later or any of this stuff. And so there are times where you see your characters just narrowing that focus down and concentrating on what's right in front of them.
Yeah, and that's kind of I don't know, for lack of a better term, a coping mechanism I use to deal with anxiety. I've had a lifelong struggle with anxiety myself, and I'm very open about this. It's really one of my mechanisms for dealing with anxiety is I'm worried about this, and it's all piling up, and I'm like, okay, well, what's a little thing that's in front of me right now that I can address? Like, you know, I can't control the future, or I've got this big thing going on over there, like, but what's a little thing? I'm like, okay, like the light switch in the bathroom is not working. How about I work on that? Like, you know, I'm not gonna be set for life by fixing that problem, but I will have fixed that problem. You know, I will be addressing something. So in a roundabout way, I guess my writing reflects my kind of approach to handling, you know, the challenges of life.
You know, I think that's really good advice. And, you know, this is the first episode of this show that's not live and it should be obvious that it's not live, because I would have already pestered the listening audience for their comments and questions about.
Yeah, I don't see a single comment. I mean, your audience is just not engaged with this one. Yeah. I gotta say.
Yeah, and if you have commented, I'm sorry, it's not live. So.
Oh, to you, that guy who just wrote that one comment just now. Yeah. Same to you, buddy.
Yeah, but we're recording this in March. And both of our books, Project Hail Mary and Floating in Darkness, are coming out on May 4th. I suspect that we are going to air this episode after that. But, you know, going back to I just wanted to set the time frame of where we're at in this thing. So we're in March. We're still
cast your mind back to
2
months ago.
So because hopefully by the time
before the robots attacked, right?
Well,
so this is a simpler time.
I'm looking at it a little more optimistic than that, because hopefully, you know, we're still in the pandemic right now. We're still, you know, we still have all these restrictions and lockdowns and everything else. And hopefully, when people are watching this, we're somewhat on the other side of that, if not completely on the other side of that.
I think we'll be less so, but I'd be surprised if we're like done.
Right.
Yeah, but it'll be nice. Yeah, it's getting better ever so slowly. You know?
But I think the bottom line is that there's a lot of anxiety out there, and a lot of what you talked about, I think, is really good for people to take to heart and to put in practice, because for good reason, there's a lot of folks that are hurting. So I want to sort of shift gears a little bit, and I remind you, I know I'm asking all the questions right now, and it kind of seems like an interview, but it's supposed to be just a conversation. So,
well, I mean, all the questions I would ask you are just the ones you've heard so many dang times that you're probably, what's it like in zero G? What's it like when you're like, you know, you'd be
I think you already know all the answers to those questions, because you write so beautifully about it. So maybe that's a good segue, because I feel I can't even say fellow writer, because I'm not in the same league, right? So,
dude, okay, I don't understand how you're. how you're like going, wow, Andy, you're cool, and I'm not. Ron, you are a freaking astronaut. There is nothing that is cooler than an astronaut. So,
well,
anywhere.
I'm an astronaut that wants to become a really good writer. And
okay, well,
and one of the folks that I look to for guidance is you.
Oh.
I mean, you're. I mean, so here's a line from the first or second page of Project Hail Mary. It was what is it? It was blinding white light with shades of pain. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm curious about your writing process. I mean, do you have the whole story mapped out, or do you just write it out? Does it just spill out as you write it?
A little column A, a little column B. I mean, so I have the main plot beats. Well, it's different for each book, I guess. For Project Hail Mary, I had the primary plot beats already known. The whole situation, the conflict, which is, Earth's impending doom, and Rylan has to save it. That's the conflict, right? And so I had that. I had the details of that worked out and why that's happening. I had the kind of all the fun in the second act onward, all planned out in advance, and just the major plot points, the major events of the plot, the turning points and stuff like that. I had that all in mind, and all the way up through to the ending. Yeah. But that would be like, I could have put that on an index card. Like, it'd be like, these are the major beats of the story, and getting from here to here, I just kind of made it up as I went along. So yeah, and sometimes as I'm writing, I'd be like, this would be, this would be better. So actually, I'm going to kind of change the big overarching thing. But I just want to be clear, I don't write with an outline, because I don't know, it's just not how I do it. But I did have a basic concept in mind. Unlike The Martian, which I made up as I went along. Yeah. Like, as I wrote each chapter, I didn't have the next chapter in mind.
And if I remember correctly, there was some crowdsourcing that was involved with that too.
In the fact checking, yeah. So basically, I wrote The Martian originally as a serial, which I just posted to my website one chapter at a time. And I mean, I'd write a chapter and I'd post it. And then 6 to 8 weeks later, I'd write the next chapter. So I really was like, I was posting content with no idea how the story was going to end. Like, I was literally just making it up as I went along. In fact, when I started it, I originally planned for it to be the entire story was just going to be nothing but Mark on Mars, no other characters, nothing. But then over time, I just realized, it'd be so much cooler if I get the NASA characters in there and show what's happening Earthside, what's happening with his crew, and stuff like that. And so that shows me like making it up as I go along. It's like page 50 or so before you see another character. Right. That's when I decided, there's just no way NASA wouldn't find out he's still alive. Right?
It's amazing. I was on vacation in Croatia, and I'm sitting on the balcony of my hotel room, and I'm reading The Martian when it first came out, and I remember just laughing my head off at one particular scene. It's when Mark Watney establishes contact back to NASA, and I'm not gonna. What's that?
With Pathfinder. And
yeah. And
it's okay to spoil The Martian. It's been out for a long time.
There's a scene in there and what was so funny about it, and I think I've told you this before, is that you completely nailed the NASA bureaucracy and how it works, and the personality of it and everything. I think that was refreshing, I guess.
Well, I had some help with that earlier in my teen years, starting from age 15 on up until I went to college. I actually worked part-time, so I was going to high school, but I also worked part-time at a national lab, Sandia National Lab in Livermore. Yeah. And so that's a large federal research facility. And so I just kind of said, I don't know what NASA's like internally, but I know what it's like at a large federal scientific research facility. So I'm just going to project that kind of feel over into my NASA scenes. And everyone who works for NASA says, yep. Yep. In fact, One of my favorite comments, and I just loved it, it made me laugh, was I wish I could remember who it was, but it was somebody at either NASA or JPL who said, like, the most inaccurate part of The Martian is the high level of cooperation shown between NASA and JPL.
Welcome to the Orbital Perspective podcast, where we dolly zoom out to a perspective where upcoming megatrends become visible.